I live out here in the deserts of Utah. I came here over a decade ago. There's the van with the mountains. That is my home. I need about $200 a month. That's 1 day of work, so that means I have 29 days of not working each month.
We lived off the grid for 3 years near Winslow, Arizona in the high desert. So we were able to leave society behind. We live complete middle of nowhere. The kids love their little swings. It's really a simple life.
It's a multipolar world. You can live the capitalist world or you can live the nature world. What I'm doing and how I live is just another option.
Look at all that dust. That's just dust blowing.
I feel insane sometimes.
He's kind of like a cross between a hippie and a redneck. I call him a desert pirate.
I'm just a dude with my cat in the desert just playing.
I would say I'm an explorer, like a modern day explorer and a treasure hunter almost. It's like an alien world. There's constellations and galaxies up there.
Humans think too much. Just live and forget about all the noise out there.
Turn off your brain for a little bit.
You're moving your life around nature. We definitely were changed by this experience.
You can go play anywhere. The curiosity is all around you. Miss Baby Girl, you are the desert princess, the queen of the boat. Do you love your life?
Mud is building up, that's for sure.
My name is Will. I am 37 years old and I live out here in the deserts of Utah. I came here over a decade ago. It's cool seeing all the dust shit going on out there. Trying to escape the city life and everything that goes on out there, the chaos, the distractions. And I wanted to find the complete opposite of everything I know. And somehow I found it. There's places out here that the best description that you could possibly come up with is Mars or the moon. You drop through all the layers and you can see millions of years of history. The way I live compared to a lot of people is alien. It's so far off. And the fact that I can be like, yeah, I live next to Mars. I'm different than a lot of people, so I am like a Martian. I've had a lot of people tell me, they're like, what do you live under a rock? You know, because I don't know things. I don't know a lot of things that everyone else knows. I don't know the movies that have come out in the last 15 years. I'm in the past. And with how quick things are changing and everything, that gap just gets bigger and bigger as time goes by. And when someone tells me, you know, what do you live under a rock? That's a compliment. And I have lived under a rock, you know, so they're not lying. You know, I could say, yeah, I do live under a rock, happily.
I think my family found their new home. I think we could live here forever. No one would ever find us. What do you think?
Everyone is anxiously awaiting some hot embers. Araya's secret superpower is that wherever she moves, the smoke follows her.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Tracy. This is our daughter, Araya, and she's 9 years old. And this is our son, Arton, and he's 6 years old.
And we all live in a tiny little box on the back of a truck.
Yeah. The family woke up next to this beautiful reservoir. I just felt very sick. Going to my job every single day, I felt like I was getting nowhere in life. I didn't want to be doing that for much longer, and there's no spirituality, there's no connection to anything. I just got tired of it. I didn't want to raise my kids like that in that kind of environment. Never seeing their mother, I felt bad.
She would come home from work so tired, and you know,
I didn't even want to talk to my kids.
The kids would run up and want to play, and she just, you know, she was so tired she couldn't give them the full attention. So I know a lot of people live that way, and it's hard because you're working, it's like you're running on a little hamster wheel, and each bill comes in and your paycheck comes in, and it's never enough. We weren't getting anywhere. Yay!
We were living in a house, a decent house actually, in Prescott, Arizona. They were going to do a lot of changes with the house, like increasing rent, and we weren't able to continue paying for that.
We are in Arizona, and we've got more land than we know what to do with. I found really cheap land. The taxes on it were maybe $150 a year. I took all of our money that we had at the time. We were able to buy a small trailer. We pulled it out to the desert with everything we owned. We were just dropped it down in the middle of the desert with nothing else around, and well, here we are. We live pretty much complete middle of nowhere. You can see how desolate, and like we don't have any neighbors. We've adapted our lifestyle to this unique environment, and it's harsh for most people. Like, this world is our toilet out here. Like, we're not using anything. I mean, we've got this trailer and the RV, but as you can see, like, I burned wood and I burned coal in there, and that helped. We had some propane heaters. We lived off the grid for 3 years near Winslow, Arizona in the high desert.
The first year that we were out there, we weren't prepared for the snow.
Home sweet cold home.
The snow gets crazy out there. I believe it was 6 months straight.
For the desert, we weren't expecting that, so I would literally have to go across the way to an old collapsed structure and cut wood from the old homestead and burn it. I made my own wood burning stove on the...
In the camper?
Yeah, in the camper.
Is working beautifully. There's not smoke.
So it was like survival that first year.
It was a bit scary at first because we didn't know if we had everything we need. Water was a big issue, but luckily we were able to find a well out there.
We're blessed to have water in the desert.
I pulled the generator over there, turned it on, and water came out. So that really helped us a lot. We were able to bathe the kids, to drink this beautiful fresh water that was coming from below, and yeah, little blessings like that.
We've been doing this all morning to fill up our water tank. Now we have to go back to the well.
So you can see there's like a stick of butter, and that's all about everything we have that needs refrigeration. Usually we're using ghee butter right now. We went to the store occasionally. We had some food assistance to where we would go shop maybe once a month and order a lot of dry food, you know, 50-pound sacks of oatmeal and things that would last a long time. But we didn't have a refrigerator that whole time. There's our chickens enjoying their present that I just gave them.
The kids enjoyed that. Picking the eggs and everything and hatching baby chickens.
Got some plants growing. Got a little garden of garlic, and even in the desolate, hot wasteland of the desert, We researched how the Native Americans grew their food, and if they could do it, we knew we could do it. So we looked up the type of corn they grew, and they planted it with squash and beans, and it would all grow together. Even though you're in the desert where there's nothing green, we were able to have flowers and beauty out there. It's rewarding to raise chickens and have eggs and grow your own food.
Honestly, the thing that grows best out here is cannabis and corn. It's nice to have some greenery.
Hey guys, so this is my van when I need to travel, and this is my home. Yeah, it's a houseboat, but when a boat don't float, you make it a home. And that's what I did. We got the doorbell right there. You know, you pull on the horseshoe, and it rings up there. You can see the solar panels up top. Little mailbox of sorts, in case people need to leave me something. Of course, there's rocks in there. Now that you've seen the outside of the boat, it's time to go inside. Walk the plank and through the door. Inside here, what do we got? We got a baby girl relaxing in the heat. We don't use the freezer for freezing. We use that for a place for baby girl to chill out. And a little staircase for her, because baby girl's an old lady and she's blind and all that. Yeah, stove works like normal. Oven works, but I just store stuff in there. What's up, big man? What's up, Sarah Bear? I grew up in New Jersey by New York City. As I was growing up, I didn't have the best childhood. My parents, you know, they were rough. They didn't love each other. There was a lot of cheating going on. There was a lot of abuse between them and my dad with me and then my siblings and everything. We had the police at our house, you know. The cops used to joke that, you know, we pay their salary, because once or twice a week for, I don't know, maybe 2 years, they were just at the house every day dealing with breaking up our fights and everything. My sister and my dad, like, legitimately trying to kill each other, you know. And I remember, you know, I was a little kid. I was in like maybe 4th grade, and I'm hiding in the bedroom, and I had my back against the door, you know, to hold it closed, and there's just a knife going through the door all around my head and everything, you know. And at that point and today, you know, that still seems normal, you know. Like, that was just the craziness that my family had. My mother was suicidal. I'd find her after she did horrible things to herself and whatever. I've had to resuscitate my mother numerous times when I was, you know, 4th, 5th grade. She'd be unconscious and I'd be doing CPR on her and calling the police, and I'd be like, hey, this is Will Federico, my mom. And then they'd be like, oh, your mom did it again? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm doing CPR. And they'd come, and, you know, by the time they'd get there, I brought her back to life already. Yeah, I mean, to me, that was normal, but yeah, you know, I know it did some stuff to my brain. So a lot of my life, I was fighting for survival. When I was a real little kid, my mom watched me get beat up one day after school, and I would get beat up every day. It was a normal thing. When I was 16 is the first time I ever did drugs, and from that point forward, I started doing heroin, and I became a heroin addict and jumped into that world of chaos. I had a goal in my life. I wanted to do every drug known to man. That was like my childhood dream, instead of being a firefighter or this or that. So I progressed through the heroin addiction at like breakneck speed. Within 2 years, I was already homeless. I was, you know, a mess. I had a whole bunch of my teeth knocked out from being hit with guns in the hood. And it was a wild time for sure. You know, I was getting arrested all the time. I, you know, but most of the time they just arrest you and then let you out. But eventually I was on probation and I violated probation. I got arrested again and I peed dirty for the drug test. So I went to jail, and that was the moment I decided I'm gonna be clean. And I made it through that, and by the time I got out of jail, the way I thought about it was, if I could make it through that, I can make it through anything. I don't need this shit. Once I started getting my life together and everything, I was trying to learn how to enjoy life, you know, and just a short thing. When I first got home from jail, it was New Year's Eve and my family was partying and they didn't care. You know, there's cocaine and all this stuff all around, and my mom comes in high on cocaine, trying to get me to open a wine bottle for her. And I'm just like, dude, like, come on, like, give me a chance here, you know? So there's a game on the computer called Solitaire, and I hate that game. Worst game on earth, it's not enjoyable. And I told myself, I'm gonna play that game until it's fun. And I sat up all night hearing everyone partying, all this, people coming in and trying to get me to do drugs with them. And eventually at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I won. And then I played again, and I won. And I won like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, all right. And I went outside on the front porch, smoked a cigarette, and I succeeded. I guess it taught me, you know, life is about perspective. And if I could find fun in that one thing I think is the worst thing on earth, I can find fun in anything. So that's what led me on the new path in my life.
The kids love their little swings. They run around all day. They don't complain. This is their life that they know.
Happy birthday, dear Araya. Happy birthday to you. Okay, make a wish. I remember as I was a child, I never saw my parents. I would wake up very early, get ready for school, go to school, and then be home by dinner. And that's the only time I might see my mom. Otherwise, my dad was at work most of the time. And then after that, you have homework for hours, you go to bed, you do the same thing the next day. And you never, ever see your family.
School sucked for you, I know that. Like, she didn't like any of that part, so.
Yeah, I felt like
you don't want that for your kids.
I don't want to have my kids going to school and being able to never see their family.
And she had a good life. Like, they made money because they were always gone. They were working, they had a big house, but emotionally, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
No, I think it has a lot to do with money too. Like, people that seek money, they don't have a lot of love. My mom would give you the shirt off her back, and I had love in my life, you know. They're not rich, but I had a rich upbringing. I had a good childhood. Even though I still had to go to school, my parents still had to go to work, it wasn't their main focus. They would work and they would take us out on the weekend to go fishing, or we went and adventured. When I met her, she had never been anywhere in the surrounding area, so I was like, your family never took you to do anything? So yeah, but they have money, but I would take the experiences over money any day.
Do you want to go up there? Or do you want to go explore over this way?
Over this way.
Sounds good.
My daughter, Araya, she is very outgoing, loves doing crafts, and Arton
We took him to the desert almost immediately after he was born. So about a month old, he came outside of society and didn't really have the interactions with other people. But we're lucky that he had his sister to play with the whole time.
The first thing we bought when we went to the desert was a playground so that they were able to play and do things instead of just being bored in the trailer. Arton How do I explain this?
He was like a little wild man.
Yeah.
I mean, he just ran around naked through the desert and pushed his little car around. You would just hear this thing going, scraping through the desert, and he would just run around in circles, and he looked like a little wild monkey boy.
They would play in the watering holes after it would rain, so the rocks had these little divots, and they would play in it for hours, and they loved it. It was a little pool. When we would go to the well, there was a bathtub set up so that we would pour the water in there, and they would take their bath
for
right there.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our kids' little classroom.
What color is this triangle? Purple triangle.
Yay!
What color is this star?
Everything they know is what we teach them, basically. Dirty dog swam quickly in the lake. Which word describes the dog?
Dirty.
Dirty. Yeah, so underline dirty and put the abbreviation for adjective, which is ADJ. As a mom, I feel this lifestyle is a blessing for me to be around my children every single day and to be able to see them grow up and play and learn and teach them everything I know.
That's the most beautiful part about it, is you get to see those years and development of your children that would be missed otherwise.
Yeah.
You wanna say hi, Grandma? Oh, she loves Grandma. You say hi, Grandma, little boy?
My family thought we were crazy. My mom was begging us to come back and rent an apartment, you know, so having a newborn in that environment, a lot of people were judging us for that. Like, what are you doing to these kids? But then my mom would come out and she would see how happy they were and how fulfilled we were with life, and so.
We always made sure that the children were fed and warm, and as long as they were happy, we were happy.
What is it, boy? What do you see?
It's a rainbow.
See the big rainbow?
Yeah. And like this is big.
We were able to leave society behind, and we did all that without working any jobs. For 3 years, we literally had no income, didn't have to pay any bills, just surviving and teaching our kids and spending time with our family.
Yep.
When I was 21 or 22 or something, I started dating a girl who introduced me to the national parks. And it was just an exposure to a different kind of life. And I realized, you know, I knew I was only seeing the tip of the iceberg. I didn't know what it looked like below, but I knew it was just the tip. On these travels I'd go on when I had my business and experiencing the country and experiencing the freedom. Kind of looks like a Muppet's eyebrow, you know? We would go on vacations, driving across the country 2 times a year, and every time I went out, I'd be on the phone, dealing with customers, dealing with my employees. I was doing landscaping, construction, and a cleaning service. And I got off the phone and I was like, why am I doing this? I'm somewhere beautiful and I'm trapped in this world of chaos. So that started planting the seed, and I sold everything. And then I drove west in search of, you know, something different. And I just drove out here without a plan and drove to the most remote place in the country and hoped for the best, and got a job volunteering with the National Park Service. And that was when my life changed, and it's never been the same.
All right, coming up to the wind tunnel. There's a grader.
So when I moved out here, that was a big step to being like, okay, instead of working doing something I need to be doing, I'm gonna try to work doing something I enjoy doing. So when I started working with the National Park Service, it was still a normal job, you know, but I enjoyed it. My office was the most beautiful places on earth.
It's Michelle the Ranger. This is where we're driving. Cameras never justify it, but shit is real. We just came from up there.
One of my favorite memories, that 46-mile road, it would get real bumpy. Windshields cracking, parts just falling off. So it was a true sense of just being out there in the middle of nowhere. And you know, you have the sand dunes blowing. They would come and take the road over.
Look at all that dust. That's just dust blowing.
Sometimes I would take my cat with me and we'd just camp out in the, you know, in the piece of heavy equipment, camp out along the road.
Na, 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 baby girl.
It was just so peaceful. So I was enjoying it, but with that job, we would work 9 days straight and then have 5 days off. And in that time period, I had the van and I started making the van livable for those 5 days that I would be off. And eventually it got to the point that I was like, you know, I don't have anything to spend my money on. And then that started building in my brain. I was like, well, if I don't have anything to spend my money on, why the heck do I have this money? You know, so I slowly started transitioning more and more into the van.
So here we are. There's the mountains. Just some desert-y looking stuff. All the way down there is Moab. And there's the van. She's doing pretty good. It is stock up day. Gonna go get water, my 2 water jugs and a bunch of smaller ones. And here's the camper. Still need a window, but it's doing good. Up. Hi, baby girl. That is my home.
Well, when traveling, the feeling is just euphoric. Just being able to be on the road and having thousands of miles under the tires. You know, it's kind of like a truck driver at that point. And it's romantic. It's really romantic, just the miles under the tires. And having baby girl, my cat, sitting on my lap, sticking her head out the window. And as much as it made me happy to travel so much, my cat loved it. And, you know, she fueled me to just keep on doing it. But ever since then, I haven't had a normal job. I've just worked for myself, traveling the country, finding work wherever I can. And I get to choose what I do. And that's when I started figuring out how to survive. If I need money while I'm out, you know, I'll find someone and ask them, and I'll do some carpentry work.
Here's some of the work I've done recently. This fence. That's what I do. I do that kind of stuff.
I get the money and then I'm just able to continue onwards and travel more. There's no direction to it. It's just that money is like, okay, let's go play. Let's go have fun.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Ah!
Oh yeah. It's a little mud walking, baby.
You're gonna burn your tail.
People wonder, you know, about being bored or anything, and it's like, you know, if I was the type to get bored and lonely and everything, I probably wouldn't have moved to one of the most remote places in the United States. So, yeah, it's just not a big thing. I enjoy my solitude. I enjoy my peace. I enjoy life on life's terms. And it's nice when it's on life's terms and not on, you know, other people's terms. I don't know, call it selfish maybe, who knows, but
I like it that way. But yeah, I got enough stuff to do, enough things to keep me entertained, you know, and sometimes, you know, I'll have friends stop by like Brandon and Tracy. Keep your eyes peeled because everyone finds Native American artifacts up here.
You've got mountain lion poop everywhere, so I bet the mountain lion comes and catches some shade here.
Yeah.
See? What did we learn from Will? Is that mountain lion poop? Huh?
I don't know.
You can't recognize it? Does it look like the other stuff? Is it white? That one's fresh.
Yeah, see, that's how you know it's a cat for sure, that pinch right there.
Oh.
He's got fur in there. This one's got a piece of bone in it.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty moldy.
I'm trying to see. Looks almost like it might be bunny rabbit fur in there. Boop. I met Brandon and Tracy and the kids about a year ago. They ended up popping into town and we just magically ended up bumping into each other and we were friends instantly. Those good people, the people I know I'm gonna know for the rest of my life.
Will!
What's he doing?
We're losing Will.
See, I'd call this home. This is a good home right here.
You wouldn't live in it? You just put a roof right over the top.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Nah, she's a mountain goat.
See, that's what I'm saying. When I can get you guys out on a 5-day adventure, I'll show you what terrifying is. That's about the tamest thing in the world right there.
Man.
We share the same philosophies with Will. It's apparent in the lifestyle and the way that he's living is pretty much the way that we lived. And when you find someone like that, you really make a connection and you want to be around him more because it's empowering. You feel like an outcast in the world when you don't share the views of 99% of other people.
Yeah.
Oh! Nice. I'm out. I'm escaping. Arden's got a stick.
Oh, got me.
Oh, look at you. You're all red.
You gonna paint me? Here, paint me.
I paint you.
It's just magical, you know, and like for a kid to see an adult doing the things that they want to do, you know, like playing in the mud or throwing mud at each other.
Yeah, you're a warrior now.
Okay.
You know, I feel like it's very important for us adults to, you know, show kids that that is what we should be doing.
Thank you.
That's not just something you should be doing as a kid. You should always do that because that's what's really important in life, you know? And even if you're living a normal life, that's okay. But you still have to go play in the mud sometimes. Keep yourself balanced.
Grab onto
All right, little man. Come here, back up a little bit.
I've got
Get at the same place I am, right there, right there. Okay, stay there. We're gonna race, and we gotta, you can't get off your belly, okay? You gotta stay on your belly. And you see that little lump right there? Straight ahead. Whoever touches that lump, you can't get off your belly though. You gotta stay on your belly, okay? On your marks. Actually, no arms either.
Oh!
You ready? Arms down. 1, 2, 3, go! Hey, you cheater! Oh, I'm beached. I can't move anymore. I think I won. You're not supposed to eat it.
Oh! That's how you win.
I said touch it, not eat it.
He's definitely our spirit family. Call him Uncle Will. If anyone else saw that scene, they would think he's a crazy guy. He's rolling in the mud like a big kid. The kids are having a blast throwing mud all over him, and it's just, you get in the spirit too. Like, all right.
Okay, he's going in the mud, so I'm gonna go in the mud because I want to, but I didn't want to be the first person to do it.
Right. He's a leader. He's definitely a leader. He inspires you to take these risks and to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And it feels good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's definitely a memory you'll always have.
Right. He's a character, definitely.
Don't be talking about my mud.
Those kids they're special to me. You know, when I first met them, they were very shy, you know, and it took a little bit for them to warm up, but, you know, just seeing them, the way they look at me, the way we play with each other. I grew up with a family that had a lot of problems, and my parents were always fighting, and I feel like I turned out okay, but I don't feel like I don't feel like you have to go through those things to learn the lessons that I learned. So once me and my ex-girlfriend, you know, found out that she was pregnant, you know, that was my first thought, you know, like I would never want to have a kid go through what I went through if they don't need to. And luckily, she recognized that we had our issues and everything, and she also came from a hard family. So we both agreed it's not a good thing to raise her like that. We came to the conclusion that we're gonna give her up for adoption. And we didn't even know about open adoptions where you can still be a part of the child's life. We had no idea that was a thing. So we named her Lucy. They took her off after 2 days and started their life together. She should be around 8, maybe 9. Because of the distance lately, it's hard to keep track, you know. She just likes fishing. She likes being outside. She likes her cowboy boot or cowgirl boots. She's happy, you know. She smiles all the time. I've never seen a picture or a video of her that she wasn't smiling. I think about her every day. She's the background picture on my phone, you know, and do I wish I was with her all the time? Of course. But I don't have regrets because I know it was the right choice.
Yeah, that was a big piece of petrified wood that I found. Like, look how big that was, and it actually looks like wood and it glows. San Rafael swell.
That's pretty.
If you want a piece of uranium, $20, $30, and you can have a radioactive rock. You know, I need to add more things where I explain that people who want these rocks, that they can actually buy them and own them safely. We've been able to provide for our family simply through selling rocks, and it's been a blessing. It made everything possible. We don't live a lavish lifestyle. We're very minimalistic, and just getting a little bit of money goes a long way. It's our little family business. I found this rock with my family. We're able to pay for our trips and everything and our way of life. This is where all the explosives were kept. I would say I'm an explorer, like a modern day explorer and a treasure hunter almost. I go in these abandoned places that are full of history. I've trained myself to spot these minerals that are of value in the world, so I don't mind taking a hammer and getting a rock out of the wall that I know someone will appreciate, and I can turn that into cash, which funds more adventures and exploration.
Got about a 1.5 million CPM reading.
I started selling mineral specimens, particularly with radioactivity. It really took off. I started my own website, radioactiverock.com, which put me in touch with people from around the world, such as like professors and nuclear physicists and students. So it's been opening a lot of doors for us. We're able to travel now.
Our kids found a little pet. Cute little horny toad. Arden is working on the fire pit.
Seeing no lights, nobody out there, no one around, and just nature. That's the reward right there. duck down so you don't hit your head.
This doesn't look too bad.
No.
I've definitely monkeyed on some sketchier looking stuff.
Right. So this was mined in like the 40s and the 50s. Utah was a real big part of the uranium boom after the war. You've got dinosaur bones and all the good stuff. You can see this is a UV light, and that is a little bit of uranium. You've got some glow. So for me, that's what I like to sell to collectors. Mineral collectors they like something that glows, something that has a high reading, and it's amazing that a lot of people don't know that you can own a piece of uranium.
That's so cool. This rubs right on your finger.
Yes.
700?
It's 80, 75.9. So it's moderately radioactive, but it's got a good glow to it.
It's beautiful.
So we went into a uranium mine that's been abandoned for many decades. So no one's been in there mining. These rocks are just sitting abandoned. It's a dangerous place that most people wouldn't venture to. And someone like Will, who's experienced everything there is to experience out here, and showing him a place of adventure and awe like a uranium mine that glows, it's a good feeling.
It's incredible stuff.
And most of the real professional people would call that contamination and go through procedures, but you know, you just take a shower afterwards. Don't eat it, don't breathe it, and don't sleep by it, and you're doing all right.
This is my first time seeing this kind of stuff for sure. And I think it's just wild. It's wild because it's you never know. It's an underground world that, you know, I've stomped all around up top for the last 10 years. And never been down here.
So this is the mineral formation that is currently being studied that's getting all the attention. The uranium minerals that are in that are pretty common, but to see them in this formation it's never been seen so far that we know. So you'll be able to see this glow. If you want to turn off your light, we can do just the UV. And that. Whoa. Yeah. So it's like an alien world.
That is so cool.
It's called Baileyite, and it's got some carnotite little crystals in it. Common minerals, but to see them in this type of form is definitely gathering a lot of attention from around the world. When I first saw it, I thought it was maybe roots from the surface.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
So the general assumption is that it's just like essentially a stalactite.
Right. It's it's like a mini stalactite of this water-soluble uranium mineral. Look at that, they're delicate. And this is the only place, I've been in mines all over, and this is the only place where we've seen anything like this. This wasn't here originally when the miners were mining it, right? So they came, they cleared out the ore from here, they left. And this, over just the past few decades, has formed. So it takes someone with a little bit of adventure to come and rediscover and see what kind of changes have taken place. So it might be something new to science. It's not a new mineral, we know, but maybe there is some life on here. Maybe it's just a crazy occurrence of this mineral that hasn't been documented yet.
To see that in my home, he opened up a whole new part of Utah to me that I didn't even know existed. You know, I just felt amazed. I felt the reinvigoration of the love of this place.
There's constellations, galaxies up there. It's pretty spectacular.
It's like another world, and yet certain spots it looks like the stars and looks like the cosmos and maybe some galaxies floating around and stuff. And life's beautiful, and it should be beautiful. And there's so many ways you can complicate how, you know, I see life or whatever, but in its simplest form, the way I see life is it's like you're going down a hallway and there's just doors forever. And the way I see life is I'm just going down that hallway. you know, just peeking in each door and seeing what's in there. And it's just beautiful, you know, there's no room for negativity, there's no room for strife and all that. It's a fun thing and we should all just be having fun with it.
Wow. Wow. That's better. Yeah. That's definitely gold.
That was pink.
No! You're colorblind. Green.
And then,
And then gold.
and then,
And then golden.
and then.
Oh no, I can't.
That was one of the most magical moments of not even the year, I'd say the last many years. It almost brings me to tears thinking about it already, but with Brandon and Tracy's kids, you know, I'm kind of getting to experience a part of life that I've missed out on with my own daughter. My biggest dream is just to have my daughter smiling and running around like Brandon and Tracy's kids, you know? It's tough because, yeah, I can't have a real in-person relationship. But as far as sharing the moments, my life's always going to be the same. I believe when I'm 75 years old, I'll still be climbing up that cliff over there and playing in the mud. And I just want to be playing on the rocks with her and us running around like mountain goats and, you know, just sharing that bond. And it's going to be quite magical to do that for my own kid one day. It'll happen. You know, I'm confident in that.
We definitely were changed by this experience. We would never go back to the old way of living.
Right.
We couldn't.
The way I am in the desert is kind of like the earth in the universe. It's so small, and if the earth was to fade away, the universe would never notice. Places I go, I could die, and no one will ever find me. We're just living our lives. We got to live it to the max.
J'espère que ce reportage vous a plu et d'ailleurs c'est pas moi qui l'ai réalisé, je l'ai juste produit, c'est mon pote Théotime Massard qui est parti sur le terrain pour rencontrer Will et cette famille. Ça fait 5 ans que je travaille avec Théotime, c'est lui qui monte quasiment toutes mes vidéos YouTube, mais il est aussi réalisateur et chef opérateur et ça faisait longtemps que je voulais vous faire découvrir son travail parce qu'il a lancé sa propre chaîne et si ça vous intéresse de voir les coulisses de ce reportage, il en a fait une vidéo.
L'été dernier, je suis parti dans l'une des régions les plus sauvages et isolées des États-Unis. Ici, le désert s'étend à perte de vue, il n'y a pas de réseau et très peu d'eau. Et malgré l'aridité extrême de cette région, certaines personnes ont décidé d'y habiter pour vivre loin de tout.
We live complete middle of nowhere.
Wow. Je suis parti à leur rencontre pour comprendre comment ils vivent dans ce milieu assez hostile à l'homme.
Mud is building up, that's for sure.
Et surtout, pourquoi ils ont choisi de tout quitter pour adopter ce mode de vie.
Allez, c'est parti.
Je les ai suivis pendant plusieurs jours et c'était complètement fou.
Donc là on avance, je sais pas où on va, mais on y va.
Je vais vous raconter comment ils font pour vivre dans le désert, pourquoi on s'est perdu au beau milieu de nulle part.
Can we get down that last stretch there?
Je descends pas là, il veut descendre la pente, mais c'est un peu raide quoi.
Et comment je me suis retrouvé dans une mine d'uranium abandonnée depuis plus de 50 ans.
On a l'impression d'être dans Avatar ou dans un autre monde, c'est vraiment incroyable.
I say don't eat it, don't breathe it, and don't sleep by it, and you're doing all right.
Sur sa chaîne, il raconte de plus en plus comment on bosse ensemble sur le terrain et désormais il travaillera la moitié de son temps sur mes vidéos et l'autre moitié sur ses propres productions. Donc je vous recommande fortement de vous abonner à sa chaîne, vous allez voir, il est très très fort. Il y a aussi Will que vous avez découvert dans ce reportage qui a lancé sa chaîne YouTube de podcast dans laquelle il va continuer à documenter comment lui et ses amis continuent de vivre dans la nature et hors système. Je vous mets des liens en description et enfin je voulais aussi vous recommander pour finir la chaîne Away Days de mon collègue Jake Hanrahan. C'est un reporter anglais qui a d'abord fondé le média Popular Front qui documente les zones de conflit et les mouvements sociaux à travers le monde. Et là il a ouvert une deuxième chaîne pour parler des milieux underground et des communautés marginales. La première vidéo c'était une immersion dans les favelas de Rio et la prochaine sera sur les hooligans du Kazakhstan. J'aime beaucoup le travail de Jake, donc foncez vous abonner, je pense que ça va beaucoup vous plaire. Merci encore pour votre soutien, à très vite.